Hi, my name is Devon from Progmorphs, and today here with us we have Ralf, the originator of the Cosmos, among many other good dinker projects. But today we would like to find out some more information about Cosmos and ask Ralf some questions. How are you doing today, Ralf?
I'm fine. Nice to meet you.
So some of the first things that we would like to know is, A, when was Cosmos either discovered or imported, and B, how long has that project been running for?
Okay, imported. There was a time when the ball python was very expensive, so a pastel male was 5K or so, and then I decided, okay, put my money into dinkers, and I was at the importer. He bring African animals inside every year, so I go there and choose a big bunch of animals, and then I choose. Okay, I try to start with this, and this was in 2008.
Okay, and from that original import, how many animals did you import?
Just one.
Just one, so you only picked one animal.
Just one animal, yeah.
And at the time, without maybe saying the price, was it still expensive to import this one ball python?
No, it was, like I said, it was not directly imported by myself. It was importer, and you can go there and choose animals and say, okay, I take this. That was already imported.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that first one that you imported, was this a male or a female?
It's a female.
Okay.
Female, yeah. Bad eater.
Bad eater,
Bad
yeah.
eater.
I remember you told me before. So when was the first time you had a clutch with her?
I think it was back in 2012.
2012.
2012.
Okay.
And this time it was still allowed to import bigger animals. They make then laws that it's just allowed to import babies. But so I got her already with 800 grams.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, but it brings nothing. This animal gave me the first clutch with 1300. She didn't eat, and it was horrible.
Okay.
It's work to raise up an African animal. And
So nowadays, when you're importing, you have to import them as babies. You can't import them as like semi-adults or adults anymore.
like what I know, it's not allowed anymore.
Okay, yeah. And this animal that you brought in, as you said, it was a female. How many different animals were there to choose from when you picked her out?
Wow, it was this first time. I was a few times there, but at this time I think I picked up 10 animals or so.
10 animals?
Yeah,
That's cool.
All around the same size.
And I know that the imports are famous for, as you said, being bad eaters and being difficult to raise. And I know you mentioned it to me in the past about how many different generations it takes for them to become captive bred.
Yeah.
So how long of breeding this animal until you were, I guess, able to make progress with her?
I still have her. She's now over 20 years old.
Okay.
And in this age, all this time, she just did 3 clutches.
3 clutches, yeah.
In full, it was 9 eggs.
Oh, wow.
In over 20 years.
Okay.
So it's a hard work. And then the first season, I directly start to go on the head for clowns. Yeah.
And do you know...
Not true. The first I used the ivory. Yeah. Just to see, because in past it was known that the yellow belly is a key cracker. Yeah. So all the time from my dinker projects, first breeding ivory, and then you see low reaction, strong reaction.
I see, yeah.
That was the first breeding, yeah. And the year after, I start directly then with the clown.
And do you know if she was a farm bred or if she was a wild caught, or do you not have that information?
No, I don't have this information because it's just a farm breed.
Yeah,
farm breed.
yeah.
You buy them all as a farm breed.
I see, right.
Yeah.
And farm breeding could mean that they are taking gravid females from the wild, they bring them in,
Yeah.
they have eggs there, then they release the female back into the wild, something like
but
that.
I don't know. It's written on the paper, but it was true or not, you don't know. You don't know.
And I know you've told me in the past that from those 9 eggs, you didn't get many males from them.
Yeah, in the first season it was one male. Yeah, and with this I could use it then 1 year or 1.5 years later or 2 years later. I didn't raise them up so fast because at the beginning you don't know what is behind. Is it a one way animal, the genetic? It's from incubation. It's so many possibilities. If it's genetically, so you don't push so much pressure inside. I had one male, but I raised him up very, very slow. I think 2 years later, I start making the heads or so.
And with this Cosmos project, when you imported or started making some progress, there weren't so many genes on the market like there is now, correct?
Yeah, if I remember right, it was not so many there, but this was the time that popped up few genes more and more. So like new gene, we have the highlight of the gene, then this gene was not used in the full potential of all, and then it came the next gene. This was this time, it was go very fast.
I see,
fast.
Because like it took a while for some people to catch on with like spot nose, for example.
When I started 20 years ago, you had the, I don't know, the albino, and everybody tried to breed albinos, just albinos. But then in this time, all the column stuff came. So it was quicker and faster. This was this time.
And when you mean that the yellow belly was the cracker, is that it was whenever there was a new gene, everyone wanted to see how it reacted with yellow belly?
It was written in the books too, in past, and I see it many times, and this was the reason why I started with ball pythons, yellow belly. I see the yellow belly, and you get the white animal with the yellow stripe on it. So, and many people, it was common that people say, okay, yellow belly is the key cracker. So because of this, I use then the ivory to see a reaction, because if you now use the yellow belly, most time you see the reaction directly with something. And in this case was the same.
Okay, so now going into a bit more of the details of the gene itself. So is Cosmos a recessive, or is it a dominant or a codominant gene?
Codominant. I already breed a super a few times.
Okay, yeah.
Now, so this was the things I need to prove in last years.
So now that you have 10 plus years working on the project, what type of projects are you mainly focusing on with Cosmos? I know you said clown was
the clown. But the clown was before my favorite gene. So I focus on this, and the reaction is crazy amazing. You just put in the clown and then add one more gene, and if you put the right gene in, crazy.
It almost seems like no matter what you add it into, even with something that everyone knows like pinstripe, it makes it crazy.
Yeah, it makes it crazy. You can, the Cosmos I see here, you see my collection is not so the highlight collection here, but with this gene I can overwork my whole collection and make a lot of crazy stuff.
But you also have Cosmos with a bunch of other dinker genes as well.
I have yes, I have a bunch of other genes, because I found out I like this more than to go on multi-recessive or something. I like this more because now when I have, I don't know, 20, 40, 30 clutches from one gene in my incubator, it's every time a surprise will edge. At the most other breedings, you know, okay, best case could be this, worst case could be this. But there, you don't know.
And as far as the super goes, I know you've made super hets. Have you made a super clown yet?
Just in pastel.
Just in pastel.
Yeah, I had this, or last season, the first time the chance to make Cosmos Clown to Cosmos Clown, but the female are pastel Cosmos Clowns. And sadly, I hit the supers just in pastel.
Of course, yeah. So I guess today we'd love that if you show us some of your favorite combos and or what you're working on, and the stage is yours for whatever you want to show us.
Yeah, okay. Here we have a Cosmos Cypress, double head for Ultramel Clown. This is a nice example of a pastel Cosmos Clown. This is a pastel Hurricane Cosmos Clown. So this was a nice surprise. This is a Cosmos Ivory Paradox. This should be a Cosmos Bongo White Flame Clown. Okay, this is the Cosmos Wookiee White Flame Clown. The White Flame and the Wookiee work great together and increase the blushings on the side. People ask me about the White Flame. This here's a single gene White Flame Clown. Yeah, the White Flame gene popped up in my collection. This is another codom. I still try out everything, but I think I hit the supers this season. They have a very high expression of these white flames on the side. I called it White Flame because it was the first what I see, but I found out now it put a lot of red color inside too. So the main thing of this gene is the power up from the color. This is a spot nose White Flame Cinnamon Clown. And here that's a great example because this animal is paradox, and at the head you see the white flame and without white flame here. White flame without. For example, I bring another animal. It is a white flame blade clown. Here you see the color boost, what the white flame do. I'm not a big fan of the blade gene, but here you see the work from the white flame gene. So here you see the difference. This is a Cosmos white flame clown. The expression of the white flame is not so high, but it's have already more red in the color. And here we had the breeding from the Cosmos white flame clown to a white flame clown. You see here the difference. So I think the white flame have a super, and this is the difference. You see here, it's just the white flame, and this example should be the super. So this is the last one we will show today. Sadly, my favorites are deep in shed. We need to do another episode or something.
Sounds great. Thank you, Ralf, and thank you everyone for watching. Let us know what you guys think about Cosmos, and see you next time.